All right, y'all, are you ready for yet another campfire tale? Because I am excited to take you on down to Augusta, Georgia, and tell you about a weird curiosity that was shrouded in local lore for years. But just in the last decade, it was accidentally destroyed. So, while you can't actually go visit anymore, the legend does live on. But don't jump to conclusions just yet. This isn't the Georgia Guidestones. It's a much lesser known and simpler structure known as the Cursed Pillar of Georgia. For over 100 years, a mysterious pillar stood on an otherwise unremarkable corner of Augusta's historic Broad Street. The pillar was 10 feet tall and made of concrete, but according to local lore, it was unique because it had been cursed by an eccentric street preacher. Well, this structure was the only piece left of an old farmer's market occupying the center of Broad Street from 1830 to 1878. Daily, residents flocked there to buy food from farmers, grocers, and butchers. But according to local lore, in the late 1800s, a street preacher was told that he was not allowed to evangelize in front of the market. Most described this man as strange and elderly, with white hair and a voice, quote, incisive even to the piercing of the human heart. His sermons were filled with fire and brimstone, and as a result, no church would host him. So the preacher felt like this was his only option left. But even that was being taken away. So the man became enraged, and after being ejected from the market by police, he swore up and down that one day this market would be destroyed by a great and mighty wind, and all that would remain of it was a lone pillar. The preacher then warned that anyone who dared touch this remaining object would meet a swift and certain death. Eerily, his ominous prediction came true. On February 8, 1878, the market was decimated by a freak winter tornado that left nothing but the pillar standing. The tornado touched down in Augusta a little after 1 a.m., and it remained on the ground for half a mile, destroying everything in a 200-foot wide path through the city, killing 2 people and knocking down several buildings. All that was left was a mass of ruins. The Augusta City Council made the decision to rebuild the market, the original site, but the pillar that remained as predicted, which was part of a row of columns that held up the portico to the entrance of the market, was carefully moved to the corner of 5th and Broad, and it was there that the curse began to prove itself true. Years after the storm, when the street was widened, 2 workmen tried to move the cursed pillar, but it's said that they were struck by lightning and killed immediately. Another version of the tale says that a bulldozer operator had died of a heart attack while moving it. Of course, some also claim that the pillar is haunted. Late-night visitors to Augusta say that they've heard whispered conversations between spirits there and disembodied footsteps pacing on the walkway. Of course, over the years, this Romanesque pillar started to even look like it was cursed. It was cracked and chipped, worn with age, and mysteriously stood alone. At least twice it was struck by lightning and was hit by cars more times than folks could even document. Nevertheless, it was a huge tourist draw for the historic city, and in 1996, it even received its own historical marker. But then, in December of 2016, over a century after the market was destroyed, the cursed pillar met its fate, destroyed by an out-of-control car. The city said it would be rebuilt, but so far, only the stump of the sinister structure remains. But the real question here is, have people tracked the lives of those who touched the cursed pillar? How do we know that they too did not meet death soon after touching the column, as that preacher foretold? We may never know, but it is said that some city workers are still afraid to touch its remains and go near its former location. as they certainly don't want to test their luck and possibly bring upon them the wrath of that street preacher and the curse he placed on that column so many years ago. My name is Brandon Schexnayder, and you've been listening to Southern Gothic.